Pepito Margarito and the Wise Wind of GreeceEscrito. Pepito Margarito was no ordinary boy. Instead of a baseball cap, he always wore an explorer's hat with a magical weather vane on top. With a soft blow and a spin of the arrow, Pepito could travel anywhere in time. That morning, he decided he wanted to find the origin of great ideas. He adjusted his utility belt, turned the vane toward the past, and in the blink of an eye, the air smelled of the sea and olive trees. Suddenly, Pepito found himself in the middle of a bustling plaza, filled with white marble columns and impressive statues, the Agora of Athens. There, sitting on a stone, a man with a thick beard and a simple tunic watched the people pass by. It was Socrates. Pepito approached him curiously, and the sage greeted him with a calm smile. "Do you come from far away, little traveler?" Socrates asked in a slow, steady voice. Pepito pulled his snack from his backpack, a delicious sandwich, and remembered his mother's words about the importance of being generous. "Would you like half?" he asked Socrates. The philosopher happily accepted and, while they ate, explained that justice was not just a law, but acting with kindness and balance toward others. "Sharing your bread is the first step toward understanding justice," the wise man said, as he enjoyed the bite. Socrates stood up and pointed toward the citizens debating in the plaza. He explained that asking why is the greatest treasure a child can possess. "Never stop questioning, Pepito," he advised. Pepito nodded, feeling a little bit wiser, and said goodbye to his new friend to continue exploring the corners of the ancient city. Near a library filled with papyrus scrolls, Pepito found a man writing tirelessly. It was Herodotus, the great historian. He had maps spread out, showing distant lands. Excited, Pepito asked him about his travels. Herodotus told him that history is like a great storybook that teaches us who we are through what others did before us. Herodotus spoke of the colossal pyramids of Egypt and how ancient peoples built wonders that defied time. Pepito listened with fascination, imagining deserts and pharaohs. "Every step you take today, Pepito, will be the history of tomorrow," the historian said, as he tucked his precious writings into a wicker basket. Finally, Pepito arrived at a quiet garden, where a man was drawing geometric shapes in the sand with a stick. It was Pythagoras. Unlike the others, he seemed to hear music in the wind. Seeing Pepito, he showed him how numbers were not just for counting apples, but were the secret language that kept the universe in perfect harmony. Pythagoras took a small lyre and plucked a string. "You see, Pepito, mathematics is like music," he explained. "Everything in nature, from the stars to the flowers, follows a beautiful order." Pepito realized that even his weather vane worked thanks to those angles and proportions the sage loved so much. Science and art were, in truth, best friends. The sun began to set behind the Parthenon, dyeing the sky in gold and purple. Pepito knew it was time to go home. He said goodbye to ancient Greece, with a heart full of lessons about justice, history, and harmony. He straightened his hat, took a deep breath, and gave the weather vane a sharp spin. The air began to whistle around him in a whirlwind of lights. Back in his room, Pepito Margarito took off his hat and placed it on his desk. Looking at his schoolbooks, they no longer seemed boring. Now he saw in them the adventures of Socrates, Herodotus, and Pythagoras. With a smile, Pepito picked up a pencil and began to write his own story, knowing that the greatest journey always begins with a question.